to Diane. I guess thank you for having the courage to speak out. I think it's a message all politicians of any party needs to hear. And also congratulate Rosemary for the great work she's done over many years. Regardless of governments of any colour, Rosemary has been a voice on behalf of those involved with WorkCover as WorkCover claimants. For those who haven't met me, my name is Iain. I'm the Shadow Minister for WorkCover, and if things go right in a few weeks' time, 14 days' time, may well end up being the Minister for WorkCover. And so I'm here tonight to explain to you what the opposition wish to do with WorkCover. Since becoming the Shadow Minister for WorkCover, I've had a steady stream of people to my office, either in person, by email or by letter or by phone, essentially giving me one very clear message. And that is that the people on WorkCover with a single claims manager feel like they have nowhere to go. And once the relationship breaks down between the claims manager and the WorkCover claimant, then the WorkCover claimant is at a huge disadvantage because the message I'm receiving from those in that position is they really have nowhere to go. So how do we fix that? And I've seen Kevin, I think, speaking later, Kevin Pearce, I've seen Kevin's paper about whether the claims management should be outsourced at all. And Kevin has a view, I think, he'll speak for himself, might be slightly different to mine. I've gone around Australia and looked at the various WorkCover systems. What we've decided to do as an opposition is to try and introduce a system that's going to hold the WorkCover management to account and the claims management system to account. Now, the reality is this, that all around Australia, there are workers' compensation schemes that have better return to work rates than WorkCover has delivered over a long period of time. They have better, which means that's better for employees in those states if they're unfortunate enough to get injured. There are lower levy rates in every other state of Australia, which is obviously better for businesses. And they are all fully funded, except for the South Australian scheme, which had an unfunded liability of up to 1.3 billion. So, from my point of view, there are two key problems with WorkCover. That would be the management, and that would be the claims management in particular. And I'm not backing away from that, even though I think I understand there are people from the ML in the room that may not be happy with me saying that. That's my view. So my view is this, and the Liberal Party's view is this. We want to hold WorkCover management to account. The way we wish to do that is to introduce the system that they've done in Queensland. WorkCover essentially has two roles. It has a role as a regulator and a role as an insurer. In Queensland, so you have an insurer that essentially, a monopoly insurer, that essentially regulates itself, hence nowhere to go. So what we wish to do is split the regulation function off from the insurance function, as they've done in Queensland, and then have the independent regulator operated by a separate board that then holds to account then what is left of WorkCover, which is the insurance fund and the claims management system. It's also going to hold to account the self-insureds in the private sector, and it's going to hold to account the workers' compensation self-insured in the public sector, because the public sector is not a great deliverer of workers' compensation services to those who are unfortunate enough to be injured in the public service. So we wish to set up that system so that there is an independent regulator over the top, if you like. Now, there's really no extra cost to that because WorkCover already does that function for itself. So it's a matter of splitting those people off and then rejigging their, if you like, their definition of what they need to do, their work definition. So that's the first thing, because we've heard the message from people on WorkCover that they have nowhere to go, and WorkCover seems to be a law unto itself. So we've certainly heard that message. The government have signed a contract with a single claims monopoly manager, EML, until about mid-2013. We are committed, and we've accepted the recommendation of the Upper House's committee into WorkCover, which a number of members are here on. We've accepted the recommendation to go to a to more than one claims manager when that contract is up for renewal. So we are going to have competition at the claims management level. The other issue that the Liberal Party is committed to is to have more businesses self-insure. Now, why is that? Well, as I gave a speech previously at the Both Sides Defence Conference, history shows this, that self-insured businesses deliver lower premiums for their employers, they deliver less injuries for their employees, and for those that are unfortunate enough to be injured, they deliver faster return to work rates. So I'm saying to WorkCover as their minister, why should I as minister say to the workers they should have to stay in a system that delivers, does deliver a higher injury rate and doesn't return workers as quickly as the self-insureds? Now, if you want an example, local government run a self-insurance scheme for all the local councils. They, for 17 years straight, had a reduction in the number of injured workers. So their injury rate's gone down 17 years straight. Good for the employees. For councils, their levy rate is half of what they would pay under WorkCover. The WorkCover rate is approximately 5.64. They levy themselves about 2.8%, so it's approximately half. And they've returned a surplus of $8 million a year for the last 2 years back to their members. So less injuries for 17 years, faster return to work rates, lower injury rates, and surplus back to their employers, if you like. So why wouldn't we say to WorkCover, well, if you can't match that performance, we are going to let more people self-insure and deliver that performance, A, to their employers and B, to their employees. Because if WorkCover can't compete on the level of injury and the return to work rate, why would we deny people the chance to self-insure? So we are going to lower the criteria, make it easier for people to self-insure, and we are going to have trade associations, for instance the Motor Trade Association or the Hotels Association, those industry groups, Housing Industry Association, allow those sort of groups to run self-insurance schemes for their members if they wish. That's a decision for them, as long as they meet the criteria.